All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein, and I will be your presenter. Today, we're going to talk about posted batches. So we're going to go over how to check on a posted batch, how to print a posted batch. We're also going to talk about corrections to posted batches, just how to overall manipulate that screen. But before we get started, I do want to let you know that today's topic is covered in, let me pull it up, the Donations Workbook D102. So if you have any interest in purchasing this workbook, you can do so on our website. So if you head out to churchwindows.com, over here on the right, under Church Windows Training, there's a little blurb here. It says workbooks. If you go to that link, it's going to show you all the workbooks we have available. Specifically today, like I said, it's going to be D102. Let me grab my highlighter. It's right here. And we're going to go over pages 26 through 33. So you can purchase that workbook on our website, or you can call in. If you would like it printed and sent to you in a binder-ready format, we can do that. It's $22 for that format. If you want to purchase the workbook and download it and print it yourself, you can do that. Save some money. It's going to be $12. So today, like I said, is Donations 102, pages 26 through 33. If you want to purchase this workbook, you can. It's out on our website, or you can call in to do that. Okay? So, a couple things about the GoToWebinar toolbar that you have. There is a place you can ask questions. It's in the little questions section. If you expand that, feel free to type in a question. I do ask that you keep your questions topical. If you have a more specific question or a question that's a little off topic, please call us at our 1-800 number or shoot us an email to support@churchwindows.com. We can answer you that way. Today's webinar shouldn't take too long. It's pretty straightforward, basic information, but if we have a lot of questions, I'm happy to stick with you and answer those. Also, there is a place where you can shrink up the GoToWebinar toolbar if it's a little too big on your screen and you can't see what I'm doing. It's a little orange rectangular box with a right arrow in it. If you hit that, it'll actually shrink it up and give you a little bit more room on your screen. Okay? So, today's webinar, we're going to be working in version 19.16.0. That is our current version. Let me go ahead and pull up donations. So, after you've entered your donations and you've posted your batch, you can then go back and see any of your posted batches real easily and in a pretty neat organized screen by clicking up here at the top on this posted batches window. Let me go ahead and grab that. So after clicking on posted batches, you are going to see just that. It's going to be organized by all of your dates that you have in fact posted batches. So every date a donation is entered, you're going to see that date listed here over on the left-hand side. If you use batch codes, some people do, some people don't. It's optional. If you use those batch codes, they're going to be listed here in this column. As you can see, the sample data that we have, no batch codes were used. It is going to give you a total number in this column, and then it's going to give you a breakdown of cash and check. And then it'll also list the total number of entries that made up the batch itself. You also have the option to adjust your date range. So say you want to go back and look at batches from last year, 5, 10 years ago. That can all be done right here in this date range box. You also have the option to focus in on just 1 month. So you can use the down arrows or simply type in these boxes with your keyboard to focus in on 1 month or even 1 day if you wish. Okay, you also have these handy minus year, plus year buttons that you might have seen popping up in the newest version. That's going to allow you to quickly jump exactly minus a year. So if you hit the minus, it's going to jump back to 2015. Okay. Also, a quick note, if you come in here and adjust a date, you do then have to hit this Apply Dates button. So if you ever see this button in bright red exclamation point, it needs you to apply the date. So even though you've changed it, you have to hit this button so then the search happens, if you will. Okay, so make sure if you see Apply Dates in bright red jumping out at you, you do in fact click on it to have what you want adjusted in the screen below. Okay, now from here you can also hit these little plus signs. These little plus signs are actually going to expand the batch and show you the detail of the batch itself. So you are going to see the givers, how much they gave, a check or reference number if you use or include that when you're entering donations, along with any comments you would have put in, your payment method, and the date posted. So date posted is actually the date you sat at the computer and created this batch. Okay, so it's pretty slick to use these little plus signs to pop in real quick and see information about the batch. Now, if you want a little bit more information, or let's say we want to print this batch out, that can be done by clicking and highlighting the batch you want, coming down here and clicking on this Print Batch button here. So if I click on Print Batch, it's then going to open up the batch report options. So you don't have to change anything in here if you don't want to. If you just hit Print Batch, this screen opens. You come down to the bottom right and hit Print again. It's going to give you just a pretty basic report of the batch itself. Okay, so it's going to give you your giver, the giving account, how much, your transaction number, and then a check number as well. This can all be customized. So say you want to come in here, print a batch, and you want to change your columns that are included. That can be done by coming right up here to your Columns tab. So say you only have certain fields you need to see when you print the report. Or say you don't use donation comments, you use line item comments. So you can come in here on the Columns tab and pick and choose exactly what information prints on this batch report. You can then also go up to the Group and Sort tab, which is right here. And from the Group and Sort tab, you can then decide how you want that report sorted. So say you just want to see the giver and you just want the totals only for that specific giver. You can then check Totals Only and hit Print, and then you're going to just get your giver and how much their total was for that batch. You can do the same thing for giving account. I find this to be a pretty common one. People just want to know how much money went to each giving account. So by doing account, choosing totals only, you can hit Print, and we see we have a gift to general, or our gifts to general fund totaling $295 and our gifts to Christmas totaling $500. So Group and Sort tab, Columns tab, you're going to have lots and lots of options for how to set up your batch report from here. Okay. Let's go on, and I want to show you how to correct or reverse a batch. So if you need to make a change to an actual transaction, so say we would need to make a change to Penny's donation. That's not going to be done here. That would be done in Browse. But say you need to make a change to the batch as a whole. So say the date on the batch is wrong, or the batch code that you used for this batch is wrong. Those changes can be corrected right here in Posted Batches. Or say you put in an entire batch and for whatever reason it was totally wrong and you need to take the entire thing out, a reversal of the entire batch can be done in here as well. Okay, so let's walk through just reversing a batch. Let's say our batch here from 117, we need to just take the entire thing out. For whatever reason, it's just totally wrong. Okay, you click to highlight the line itself with the date, so highlight the entire batch. Come down here to the bottom left. Let me grab my highlighter so you can see it, and you have this reverse button here. So we're going to come down and we're going to hit reverse. And then it's going to give you some options. It's, I would say, usually recommended that you're going to reverse from the date occurred of the original transaction. I would say go with this. And there are advanced options here if you would like to reverse it for a different day or a completely different date. You can choose these advanced options here, but I would say most of the time you're going to go with the date occurred. You do have a place down here to put in comments, which is always a great idea if you're reversing or changing something in the data. So if you ever need to go back and say, why did I reverse this batch from January 17th? You can look at the comments and maybe help figure out why it was reversed. So you can type in comments if you wish. You don't have to. Then from this point, you need to go with either OK and transfer or OK. If you don't use the accounting module, it doesn't really matter what you pick here because you're not transferring over to accounting. But if you did post this batch and it transferred over to accounting and you need to get it out of accounting, then you would want to go ahead and go with the OK and transfer button. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK, and it's going to say permanently reverse donation for 117, and I'm going to say yes. And it's going to tell me it's been reversed, and it's going to tell me what transactions reversed it. And just hit OK through there. All right, so let's say, let me erase all this. We want to see any reverse transactions that we have in fact taken out. That can be done by going up here on the top left and just putting a check mark in this show reversed box. Once you put a check mark in that box, it's going to pop up with any of the transactions that you have in fact reversed. And as we can see, here's our 117 that we just took out. It's printing in red. Okay. Let me erase my drawings again here. Let's then talk about correcting a posted batch. So if you need to change the date to a batch as a whole, or you need to adjust the batch code, that can be done by just clicking to select the batch itself that you need to adjust, and then coming down here to the bottom left and hitting the correct batch button. So we're going to hit correct batch, and then here we see our options. If you need to put a date in, that can be done by just typing in or hitting the down arrow to select the date that you need. Or you can then choose your batch code here too as well if you need to do that. Also, you have an OK and an OK and transfer. So if the change just needs to take effect here in donations, or you don't use accounting, you're going to go with the OK button. If you need this to take effect over in accounting, if you change the date and you need that to be sent over to accounting, then you would go ahead and do the OK and transfer option. All right, just go ahead and hit OK for this. And it tells us that it does require the batch be reversed and re-entered, and here are your new transaction numbers for correcting and reversing, and here they are. And now we see it has the date of 1/27, and it now has that batch code that I slid in there as well. All right, you do have a couple other buttons in here. The refresh batches button, which is up here. This button is helpful if you're working on a network. So if you're working on a network and there might be one other person or more than one person working in the program, you can hit this button to see any changes that have taken place on the screen. Then you also have a reactivate batch for transfer button down here. So this isn't going to be used too terribly often, But if you ever have a situation where a batch has already been sent over to accounting, and then for whatever reason a change was made to it in accounting, or that batch was just reversed out of accounting, or maybe you restored accounting data and this batch needs to be sent over into accounting, you can highlight a batch and hit that reactivate batch for transfer button down at the bottom, and that will then take this batch and put it back into the transfer to accounting screen for you to send it over again. Now if you don't use accounting, you don't need to do anything with that button, but if for whatever reason you find there's a batch that needs to get sent over to accounting, you can highlight the batch and come down here and hit that reactivate batch for transfer button. Okay, so that really covers, that's pages 26 through 33, that goes over that D102 workbook. If anyone has any questions, feel free to type those questions into the questions section on your toolbar. But it's pretty basic stuff today, so if there are no questions, we can go ahead and just close up shop a little bit early. All right, we are recording this webinar as well. We try to get them up to our YouTube page by the end of the week, so they do a little editing, clean it up a bit, and then it goes out to YouTube. So if you're wanting to watch some videos and gather some more information, you can head out to the internet and go to youtube.com/churchwindows. That's going to take you to our YouTube page. And from here, we have lots and lots of videos. So you can always do the search right here and actually type in what you're looking for. And by typing that in, it'll take you to the videos we have on that topic. Okay, but there's a lot of really good stuff out here. For me, I'd much rather watch a video than read a document. That's just how I learned, so I like the videos, but it's just another option that doesn't cost you anything and can really help you get through the day with working with the program. Lori's asking, where is the manual located that you referenced? Lori, it's not actually a manual, it's one of our training workbooks. That is on our website as well. Let me get back there real quick. So if you go to churchwindows.com, down along the left-hand side under Church Windows Training, you can click on Workbooks. And these are all our workbooks that you can purchase. It is $12 for a downloadable version that you can print off, or you can spend the $22 to get the pre-printed binder ready that will mail to you. But specifically today we went over donations D102, and that's where we got the information on posted batches, and specifically pages 26 through 33. So that's where you would find the information that I went over today. All right. Also, if it's not in the budget to get the workbooks, I would say go to the YouTube page, or whatever screen you're in Church Windows. You can hit your F1 key. See if it'll work on here. Yeah, and it's actually going to open up the help for whatever window you're in. So if it's not in the budget to get the workbooks right now, you don't have time to watch the video and you just want some quick help, whatever screen you're in, hit your F1 key and it's going to take you out to our manual that's included with the program, and then it'll give you information on the specific screen that you're in. You can also use the links up here at the top to jump to other topics as well. All right. All right, we're right at, well, a couple seconds before we get to 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and close up the webinar. If you come up with any questions after I end it, feel free to call us or email us at support@churchwindows.com, and we will be happy to help you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks.